Prince William and Princess Kate just did something royal watchers rarely get to see. They broke their silence on the Epstein files. Not with a long speech. Not with a dramatic denial. Just one tight message, delivered from Riyadh as William began an official trip, saying they're deeply concerned, and that their thoughts remain focused on the victims. And the fact they chose to speak now is exactly why everyone's paying attention. Because this wasn't supposed to be a scandal day. It was supposed to be diplomacy, a carefully managed visit meant to project stability and leadership. Instead, reporters in Saudi Arabia asked the question that refuses to go away, and Kensington Palace answered on the record. That detail matters. It turns a UK problem into an international headline, right as William is trying to build relationships on the world stage. But that wasn't the whole story. The timing lines up with a fresh surge of attention around Epstein-related material. Multiple outlets report a massive document release in the US that reignited old links and old questions, the kind of news cycle that drags everyone connected into the spotlight, whether they want it or not. And in the royal world, once a story hits that phase, staying silent starts looking like a decision too. What's fascinating is how William and Kate framed their statement. They didn't argue details. They didn't name family members. They didn't touch the legal back and forth. They centered one thing only: the victims. That's not accidental. It's the safest moral ground in a story full of legal landmines. And it also echoes the palace line used before, when King Charles and Queen Camilla publicly expressed sympathy for victims and survivors. In other words, this wasn't an emotional outburst. It looked like strategy. And yes, the reason this matters is the shadow hanging over Prince Andrew. He's been under renewed scrutiny because of his past association with Epstein, and reporting continues to revisit the timeline of that relationship. Andrew has repeatedly denied wrongdoing, and major outlets note he previously reached a settlement in a civil case while continuing to deny the allegations. Still, public opinion doesn't wait for courtroom standards, and the monarchy knows it. Then come the new details people keep sharing. Some reports and roundups say the latest documents include emails and other material that appear to complicate earlier public narratives about how long certain contacts continued after key moments in the timeline. Other coverage stresses that documents can be messy, context can be missing, and not every item proves wrongdoing by itself. But none of that stops the headlines. It just fuels the sense that more questions are coming. What really shifted the tone is that this wasn't only William and Kate. Prince Edward was recently asked about the broader fallout and emphasized remembering the victims, a rare moment of directness from a senior royal. Put that next to the King and Queen's earlier message, and you can see the shape of a new approach: avoid arguing the scandal, but publicly anchor the institution on empathy and accountability language. So where does this go? That's the part no one can answer yet. William is in Saudi Arabia meeting leadership, a trip meant to deepen ties and show statesman energy. But now his first headlines aren't about policy or partnerships. They're about whether the future of the monarchy can draw a clean line between private protection and public responsibility. And if this is the start of a new era, the next moves won't be made in front of cameras. They'll be made in what Kensington Palace chooses to say, and what it refuses to say, the next time the story resurfaces.